Avadhutas are divine souls who possess knowledge that transcends ego consciousness, duality, and common worldly concerns. They act without regard for the social etiquette followed by the rest of the world. Those who have achieved complete liberation from the bonds of desire are absolutely pure and immersed in total inner bliss. Only through many lifetimes of intense spiritual penance is the state of an Avadhuta attained, which only a few rare souls merit such an exalted title. In every epoch, a handful of Avadhutas grace this earth. Today, we will briefly explore the life story of one such great Avadhuta from Sakharāyapattana village in Chikkamaluru district of Karnataka. Venkatachala was born in Sakharāyapattana village to parents Srinivasayya and Sharadamma, who were ardent worshippers of their family deity Lord Venkateshwara of Tirupati. His parents were farmers by profession and had 3 daughters. After fervent prayers to the Lord for a male child, the Lord answered their prayers in 1940 with the birth of an illustrious son, whom they named Venkatachala after their family deity. Following Hindu customs, his parents performed chaula or head tonsuring ceremony for children when Venkatachala was 3 years old. During his spare time from work, Srinivasayya regaled the child with stories from the Puranas, Ramayana and Mahabharata. The family held the then Jagadguru of Sringeri Mutt, His Holiness Sri Chandrasekhar Bharati, in high regard, and the piety of his parents profoundly influenced Venkatachala. He ardently pursued spirituality, venerating the Sringeri Jagadguru from an early age and frequently visiting the Sringeri Mutt monthly to pay homage to the Guru and receive his blessings. He also made it a point to send alms regularly to the Guru from Sakharāyapattana village. Eventually, the family relocated to Bengaluru, where Venkatachala pursued his higher education at Vijaya College. His parents arranged his marriage to a girl named Padmavati, with whom he had 3 children, 2 daughters and a son. While his marital life initially went well, tragedy struck in 1969 with the passing of his father, followed by the demise of his brother. This devastating series of events deeply affected Venkatachala and became a turning point in his spiritual journey, prompting him to contemplate the transience of human life. He resolved to lead a life of seclusion and engage in philanthropic activities. His new outlook on the world influenced his attire. He began sporting a long beard, matted hair, and a plain cotton towel wrapped around his waist. Venkatachala discarded all worldly ties and through rigorous penance attained Vaksiddhi, the ability for whatever he uttered to be true. Gradually, people began to visit him from various places to seek his darshan, affectionately addressing him as Gurunath. Despite the adulation, Gurunath Venkatachala abhorred pomp and show, rejected adornments of cash and kind, and adhered strictly to a simple and austere lifestyle. He exemplified humility, showering motherly affection on those who approached him with their worldly grievances. The plight of the suffering deeply moved him, and he roamed the village as an Avadhuta, providing solace to those who sought his refuge. Gurunath Venkatachala was a Trikala Gnani, someone who knows the past, present and future and performed many miracles. One look at the devotee allowed Gurunath to gather intimate details about them. Around 1995-96, a man from Belawadi village, an ardent devotee of Gurunath, owned farmland in his village. One day, Gurunath suddenly summoned him and instructed, "Enough of this farmland. Leave it, sell it." Reluctantly heeding the words of Gurunath, the man eventually sold his farmland. Initially puzzled by the instruction, he understood the reason shortly after selling it when news arrived that the farmlands in his village had burned due to extreme heat. Relatives who had purchased lands in that region suffered severe losses as the land became unfit for cultivation. Indeed, Gurunath served as a Bhaktavatsala to devotees, rescuing them from misfortune at the right time. Gurunath employed unique and unfathomable methods to address the ailments of devotees. Once, an elderly couple visited Gurunath with their daughter, who was of marriageable age. They tearfully expressed their concern that she suffered from continuous menstrual bleeding, making it difficult to secure a marriage despite their best efforts and medical treatments. Gurunath listened patiently, then summoned a devotee present and asked him to bring a cigarette, instructing him to accompany the girl to a nearby house and smoke behind it, stating that it would cure her malady. Although her parents were startled by his words, they trusted Gurunath's wisdom. After the girl struggled to smoke a cigarette, Gurunath turned to her father and said, "Swami, your daughter was a man in her previous life and used to smoke continuously. Even in his dying moments, he wished to smoke a cigarette. That wish is now fulfilled in this birth, helping to resolve the girl's current predicament. Her health will improve from now on." Indeed, by Gurunath's grace, the girl rapidly recovered. In another instance, a silk merchant from Malenadu did not believe in Gurunath but accompanied his friend to seek his darshan. He had been suffering from an ailment in his legs that made it difficult to sit for even a few minutes. The compassionate Gurunath noticed his condition, took pity on him, and handed him 2 bananas, instructing him to eat them at once. Miraculously, the ailment that had plagued the silk merchant for years disappeared instantly due to Gurunath's divine grace. This miracle thus transformed him into an ardent devotee. On one occasion, when devotees were traveling with Gurunath in a car, the vehicle suddenly came to a halt. The driver apologetically informed Gurunath that they had run out of fuel. Gurunath reassured him not to worry and strangely tied a sheet of cloth to the rear of the vehicle, allowing the other end to dangle on the road. He instructed the devotees not to look back and ordered the driver to proceed. Miraculously, despite the lack of fuel, the car started and safely reached its destination without any issues. Although Gurunath performed many miracles for his devotees, he always attributed them to Lord Ishvara, the family deity of the devotee, or occasionally to His Holiness Sri Shankaracharya of Sringeri. He strictly advised his close devotees not to reveal his presence to the public, emphasizing that a guru is not a commodity for sale. Remarkably, he predicted the time of his departure from the mortal plane 10 years in advance. He also mentioned that only a few close devotees would be present to enshrine his mortal remains. True to his word, Gurunath Venkatachala Avadhuta Swami attained Samadhi at the stroke of midnight on July 31, 2010 in Sakharāyapattana village. His Samadhi was enshrined with due rites by a few near and dear devotees. You can find the location of his Samadhi shrine on Google Maps in the video description. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.